Welcome back, traders. And I know some of you are asking, what the fuck is going on with the SPY? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Let's take a look. We have nothing but bullish signals all over the SPY, guys. And we've gone over this since December. Since December, I drew out this cup and handle. Let me show you a few other things here. All right, by looking at the chart, guys, you can see that we did have a cup and handle, and we continue to fill that cup and handle. You can see this beautiful support line here on the monthly with SPY. Okay, so at the beginning, okay, we said we were waiting for this candle to form so that we can see a nice support and a third white soldier going up. Okay, and we got that, guys. Now don't forget, we have this target here for 2024, and I think that a lot of analysts are seeing what I saw in December, because now some of them are starting to call at least 5,000 or 5,100 on the SPX, which means 510 for us here at the bull ring for SPY. All right, so let me show you a couple of more bullish signs, guys. At the beginning, we did see, and a lot of people will tell you, hey, this looks like a double top. Okay, I get it. But if you know charts, okay, and if you've signed up for my courses, you saw what I see right here. Okay, so at the beginning, you might have said, yeah, I see a double top, but this was actually an inverted head and shoulders, guys. And all we needed to do is break this trend line, and sure enough, we did. Okay, that was your first bull sign. Second one is your cup and handle, but there was one that was hiding and a lot of people missed it. All right, let's go back a few months on the SPY, guys, and you see a nice little bull flag that was forming down here, guys, from this wick. We can take it up here, and then we just go ahead and draw our bull flag. Okay, let me fix that for us. Here we go. One more try. There goes our nice little bull flag, guys. So we had a bull flag. We have the cup and handle. We have the inverse head and shoulders. And we are off. We are on a takeoff. We are launching, guys, with SPY. So what is next? How high is it going to go for now, guys? What's it going to do in February? What's it going to do in March? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Let me show you what I see. All right, let's go to the daily time frame, guys, and let's take a look at a few things here. I do want to point out, okay, something that we've talked about in the bull ring, guys. And if you guys are not signed up in the bull ring, you probably wouldn't have seen this here. Okay, let me give you a better circle there. So look at this here, okay? That is when we had a nice little cloud flip, guys. Our clouds flip. This is my indicator. If you guys sign up for the bull ring, okay, you would have seen that at 428, we became bullish. And you see a nice little white line here, guys. This is a moving average that I always count on, that Wall Street uses, and you guys get to have it if you sign up for the bull ring, guys. Okay, again, it's $1 a day. I'm gonna leave you guys a link below. You can't lose. 30-day money back guarantee, guys. Okay, if you guys are finding value with this video and the rest of the videos, guys, do me a favor, subscribe, hit that little bell so that you guys are notified whenever I post a new video, and hit the like button if you're finding value in this video, guys. All right, so let's break it down here, guys. What's going to happen next with SPY? Okay, so this is simple stuff, guys. This is stuff that we teach in the bull ring, in the courses. And if you guys want to sign up, like I told you, there's a link below. Okay, so let's go through a couple things here that I want you to see. All right, so we did have a nice little trend up here with SPY, okay? And at some point on the daily, guys, we saw resistance here, okay? And that's fine. SPY pulled back, and then now we have a nice little support line coming up here, guys. Now, what you want to look for, guys, if you want to see where this stock is going to go, you can see the previous resistance we had here, okay, became a little bit of support. But what we want to see with SPY, okay, is we want to see it test 482, guys. 482 is going to be a nice test. We want to see it come back down, okay, and then bounce off of that, and then we will continue on our bull run, guys. All right, now let's take a look at our Fibonacci, guys. If you understand Fibonacci, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, we have our first test will be for a pullback down to 50% of Fibonacci, guys. Okay, so we will test the 492, maybe 491 area, and then we will see this go back up and test 496. Okay, if we get past 496, what we want to see is a nice retest here, guys, and then we're off to the races, and that's going to be really, really nice. So keep an eye on for that pullback this week. Okay, we might see it sooner than later, and that is going to be really nice entry points for all of us. All right, something to keep an eye on, guys, on the weekly is we have our support on the weekly level is here. We're around 460, guys. So one of the things that you want to look out for is for the stock at some point to make a pullback down to this area and then continue on its way up, guys. Okay, and we will see something like this, and of course we will continue our bull run on our way to 571. Okay, so this is going to be a key area on the weekly to look for. We did point out what's going to probably happen temporarily this week, halfway of this candle, guys, maybe 492 like we said. So on the weekly, we do have this test. This will be the test for SPY. If SPY is going to continue to go on, at some point it's going to make it back down there. Now, if it does, okay, if we come here again and SPY decides to pretend to bounce and then it continues downward, okay, then we could see another test of this area here about 440, 439, guys, okay, and this is where we expect again another pullback, and then we will test this area, and if we get past it and we can bounce off of it again, we are headed to our target of 571. So this is your weekly chart, guys, and keep an eye on that, because in the long run, you want to keep an eye on the weekly and the monthly, but for the daily, we already talked about it. We're looking at 492 pullback, maybe 491. We go under that. Be careful with your trades, guys, because we might have something else happening in the background, maybe some news or maybe some sell-off for whatever reason, okay? All right, guys, then real quickly, let's take a look at some of the Mag 7s. Okay, so here we have Nvidia. Again, this is the weekly chart, guys, and on the weekly, we have Nvidia that could potentially pull back at some point to the 500 level, guys, and then continue its bull run up. Okay, this is normal. This is healthy for stocks. Okay, so keep an eye on that on the weekly. All right, here we go with Nvidia on the daily, guys. And just like we talked about with SPY, we could see a pullback this week down to the 50 area, which would be 651.29, guys. That is not unusual. We'll see it come down here, maybe 647, and then we'll see Nvidia continue up. Now, remember, Nvidia on the daily, guys, we do have the old resistance area that it beat, and I wouldn't be surprised that at some point Nvidia will come down here, pull back on the daily, and then continue on its way up. Now, $30 away, 631, okay, 30 something dollars away. That's not unusual for Nvidia to do in 2 or 3 days, okay, because the average true range for Nvidia is up in those area and higher on the weekly. So don't be surprised if Nvidia will pull back all the way. But for now, this week, I'm looking for Nvidia to do 651. And if it does 651, guys, I am a buyer there. All right, so we have Meta that had earnings this week, guys, okay? And we know that Meta just took off like a bat out of hell, guys. And check this out. So we do have something that is concerning here for a lot of people. Okay, we do have a gap where Meta could potentially come back down, okay, and bounce off of the original support, okay, or original price where it was at before earnings. And then after that, it could come down a little bit, okay? I personally think that Meta is not going to do that, okay? I think that Meta is going to test potentially this area here, guys. We're looking at about 450, okay? If it pulls back, it's going to pull back into this area, okay? If, and I'm saying if it does, okay, it's going to pull back to that area. Now, what do I think is really going to happen with Meta? Okay, what am I going to do? Well, let me show you guys. I am glad you asked. All right, again, let's take our Fibonacci, guys, and let's take a look, okay? Meta could potentially come back to 469, okay? Or since it closed here at around 474 area, okay? If we take our Fibonacci, guys, okay, and we do that instead, we could potentially find a lower midpoint for Meta. But here's what I think is really going to happen, and this is what I'm going to play, guys. So it started pulling back already at the end of the session on Friday. So we're looking at around 469 area, guys. And after that, I think it's going to bounce and continue to go up. Me personally, guys, I think that when we wake up on Monday morning, I would not be surprised if we are in this area here or higher, okay? Remember that this could do this. It's already in here, and a lot of people are saying, hey, I should have got in, and I'm telling them, yes, you should have, guys. So remember, the pullback could be 469, but me personally, I think we're going to be above that 485, guys. We're going to fill that gap, and let me show you that gap I'm talking about, okay? We close right around here, okay, and we have that wick all the way to here. I think they'll fill that gap in the pre-market or more, and that's why I'm thinking this will continue to go higher. So keep an eye on Meta. If you're playing Meta, guys, long term, this is going to be a good play. It's AI. Any company now that has AI is going to be hot for a while, guys. So just letting you know, keep an eye on it and make a decision if you guys think that it's for you. Okay, let's take a look at Amazon, guys. Amazon has same thing like some of the other stocks that had earnings, just like Meta. Okay, it made it to about 172.5, guys, and now we're looking at a pullback to about 169. It did close at 171, and again, I think that this will pull back to that area and then continue on its way up. Okay, now we do have a same kind of like Meta where they're going to fill this gap. I think it'll be filled in the pre-market and then continue on its way up. I personally am not a big fan of Amazon. I think they're a great company, and I think that they're doing a lot of great stuff. I'm not sure how well they're going to do with their AI because they are an AI play, guys. And another thing to keep an eye on is just like Meta, okay, we have a gap. I think people are more in love with Meta than Amazon, so I could see Amazon coming back down here at some point, or at least halfway, guys, maybe to here and then continue its way up. I do think it's going to be bought a lot. Now, one thing you need to remember with any of these companies, guys, I don't fear buying some of these shares, and I'll tell you why, because there's a lot of money in these stocks and people are not going to dump overnight because they see somebody filling a gap or sell off because they made their profits up here. Okay, if you bought down here, guys, and they got to here, of course, some people are going to sell off and say, hey, I did my profits, I'm good. Okay, but there's a lot of money. There's a lot of shareholders, and guess what they do? They buy those dips, and then they continue to make money on the way up. So if you like Amazon, guys, Just because I am not a fan right now of it doesn't mean that you can't be a fan. Okay, so guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging around and listening to this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And any suggestions, any stocks you guys want me to cover, put it in the comments below, guys. And I'm hoping and wishing you guys a very green week this week. And until the next video, you guys have a safe one.